12th Street, second floor. On 12th Street, there is a building with a parking garage below and only a second floor above. An unusual building, for while it boasts 24 offices and 7 bathrooms, every business that enters ends up leaving within 4 years' time. No one will say the truth as to why the businesses leave. Businesses rise and fall, they say. Not everyone likes the location, they say. It's only a matter of time before they want to expand upwards to a 3rd floor, only to find out the expense, they say. The locals say otherwise in public and in their own homes, but only alone do they ever speak the truth of the 2nd floor on 12th Street. It doesn't exist. Though many in the neighborhood have lived there for years, and all have memories of seeing the 2nd floor on 12th Street as they walked by, or bicycled by, or even rode by in a car, and some can even remember the shape of the building as a toddler in the stroller. But none of the locals will admit that they can no longer see the 2nd floor. They can only see the parking garage. Many children turned teenagers wander past the building and all remember the parking garage, and some try to skate there, but are never asked to leave due to how unobtrusive they are. They are kind to the employees and the height of politeness to newcomers who park, and downright demure whenever they encounter an official-looking adult, until they leave. "They're all ghosts," a girl would say. "Don't be stupid," a boy would say before wavering. Then they would all grow quiet. After hours, when the cars drive home and the parking garage is empty, the teenagers would look for elevators and doors, but none are found. Then one of them gets spooked. Another gets spooked. It's not until one of them suggests that they leave that they do. They leave for the scared ones, of course, and certainly not for their own benefit. The teenagers slip away into the night and look back on the 2nd floor of 12th Street, wondering what kind of suburb surrounds them. When those teenagers grow into adults, every once in a while, they would look at each other in the parking garage on 12th Street. "It's just one building," one would start. "What building?" another would reply. "The one on 12th Street." A pause. "Oh, yes, of course. Lovely building." But this talk never goes further. It cannot. It's simply too irrational. Normal people don't talk about things that aren't true. Normal people know buildings don't just disappear and only leave the parking garage behind. A parking garage denoted as the 1st floor. It's even worse for the realtors who have lived in the suburb all their lives. Every 4 years, one realty gets the listing, and the office learns of it. If there is a new realtor, they get it without question, and are undoubtedly delighted as it warrants a good bonus. Some of them even think they are being rewarded, but they are deceived. Once the realtor sells the building, for they always make the sale as the building has never been unoccupied, it becomes a ticking clock until the day when the realtor satisfyingly removes the sold sign and drives past 12th Street on their way to work. Then comes the day when the 2nd floor is completely gone and the realtor is in shock. They arrive, white as a ghost, and finally admit confusion to the building on 12th Street. To them, it is a building on 12th Street and not merely a parking garage with a 2nd floor. No realty has managed to hold a conversation that follows. How can they admit that half of the property they sold, the most valuable half for a business, is gone? More than once, the realtor calls the company they sold the building to and are met with a stunning realization that the head of the company is in the building right now and nothing is amiss. This often leads the realtor into therapy, or even worse, relocation, than to continue to live in a town where floors disappear. Then every 4 years, like an eternal haunted leap year, a new realty is called. More often than not, a realtor who has lived in town all their lives gets the listing. An unfortunate circumstance, as they have to meet the buyer in person to show the listing. They have to hire photographers from miles away to take pictures as they can't do it themselves. The realtor has to enter the building and take an elevator that appears out of nowhere up to an ever-evolving landscape of offices and bathrooms that change their layout every 4 years. The buyer has no notion, and they're better off that way. This is a normal town, and no one in their right mind wants to be harassed by the insinuation that they live in a spectacle. When the property is sold, the realtor goes home. They throw a barbecue or some sort of party where they invite their coworkers. All of these coworkers attend and make sure to have a drink or two before the party grows late, and they gather in a private area of the realtor's home. The conversation rarely changes. Well, their boss asks. The layout, the realtor replies. 12 offices this time. Each of the corner offices have windows. Incredible, said one of the employees. And the bathrooms, said another. Only 3, 2 main bathrooms with 10 stalls each, and 1 private bathroom off the elevator. And the smell. There was a smell? Fragrant lilies, the realtor said, with their eyes lost. Why is it always fragrant lilies? And the buyer asked their boss. He didn't smell the lilies at all, said the realtor, flushing. But I've never been more embarrassed when he asked me where the smell of reeking fish came from. Not fish, sighed one of the employees. Better than sewage, another frowned. When I sold that place, it was sewage the buyer smelt. For me, it was another plant entirely, said the boss, pursing his lips. But that was back in the 70s when everywhere smelled of it, if you catch my drift. I hope I never have to do that again, sighed the agent. We've all been through it, said their boss. Here's to hoping it ends up at the realty down the road 4 years from now. Here's to hoping. And so, the second floor on 12th Street has been occupied for the last 4 years, but now it is currently for sale. For more information, please contact the listing with Stargazer Lily Realty.